The United States also has the highest business tax rate among the major industrialized nations of the world at 35%. It's almost 40% when you add in taxes at the state level, and in many cases and many states, it's much higher than that.
In his first major economic address of the 2016 general election campaign, Donald Trump suggested that U.S. businesses pay a higher corporate tax rate than almost anywhere else in the world, of around 39%. And that's true if you look at the baseline federal corporate tax and state corporate taxes, but it is not true when you consider that there are lots of loopholes and deductions that companies are able to take. When those are taken into account, the U.S. corporate tax rate is closer to around 27%, which is pretty much in line with our peers. Donald Trump has proposed a tax rate for corporations of around 15%, which is much, much lower than other countries. And he hasn't proposed any way to make up that budget shortfall by proposing cuts or anything else to the federal government. Now, this speech was full of a lot of economic plans, and there are a couple others I want to fact check. Here's the first one.
Nearly 12 million people have been added to the food stamp, and these people are growing, and it's growing so rapidly since President Obama took office.
So Donald Trump is right that a lot of people have been added to the food stamps rolls while President Obama has been in office, around 13 million. But a similar number of people were added while George W. Bush was in office. And if you look at the last 2 years, the amount of money America has spent on food stamps as a percentage of the GDP has actually gone down. That means that yes, a lot of people are being added to the rolls, but the amount of money we spend compared to the amount of money America creates is actually going down. Let's fact check one more of Trump's claims.
You cannot ever start a small business under the tremendous regulatory burden that you have today in our country.
This one is clearly Trump being fairly hyperbolic. It's not literally impossible to create a small business in the United States today, as you can see by the fact that they do in fact still get created. He is right, though, that the number of small businesses created in the last 8 years has slowed. This could be because of new regulations, but it also could be because of things like wage stagnation, difficult access to capital, and just a generally tough economic period that's made people less likely to want to take a risk and start a small business. This speech had more specifics than Trump usually gives, but if you look into some of the details, it's clear he might still need his own fact checker on staff.